Hey y'all, my name is Kentley Northcutt, and today I'll be talking about why there should be more agriculture education. So many of the younger generations and adults nowadays do not know the importance of agriculture, so we need to keep everyone in the know, especially the younger generations, because they are the future farmers of America, as well as the future leaders of our country. And because agriculture plays such a big part in everything that we do, it's really important that we are educated. So before I start, I just want to ask a few questions. So I'll start by asking, do any of you guys know how to weld? Or do you know how to plant a successful garden? Or even decide what milk is best to buy when you go to the grocery store? And so many of these skills are often taught in agriculture classes. So not every school has an agriculture class, but it is important that every school does get agriculture classes. That way students are able to learn and understand the answers to topics such like these and many more relating to the agriculture field. Many of the younger generations and many adults nowadays do not know the importance of agriculture, so we need to keep everyone in the know, especially the upcoming generations, for these reasons. Some people know the importance of agriculture, but as the population grows and more people are moving to urban cities and becoming more... Why is it not changing? Sorry. Okay. My slide wasn't changing. But as people are moving to more urban cities and becoming detached from agriculture, they're losing their knowledge of agriculture while they're moving and finding new locations. So some ways that we can help spread the word about agriculture is by introducing agriculture at a young age, as I had mentioned, establishing an agriculture base in schools, and advocating for the importance of agriculture. So introducing ag at a young age and engaging students helps them better understand agriculture as a whole. So once again, these are my topics that I'm going to talk about. So we're going to start with introducing agriculture at a young age. So in a segment of an article on a website called Teach Ag in Ohio, stated through hands-on learning activities, students can work together in groups to learn teamwork skills and find creative solutions to problems. Getting them outside as will also teach them the difference between livestock and pets, and even getting to learn like the circle of life. So this goes for older generations and older students too, but the younger generations are the ones that will help aid the continuation of the agriculture industry the most, because they are going to have more time to engage in the agriculture industry as they are younger students. So another thing I want to cover is that the industry needs to be backed up, because all the farmers and ranchers are getting older, so they need someone to keep their farms going. So what this means is, as the older generations are leaving, we need to prepare the younger generations to come in and take their place without there having to be an awkward gap where no one knows essentially what's going on in the agriculture field, because that can cause a huge issue on a lot more things than you would think of, just because agriculture is a big part of our daily lives. And it is all around us all the time. So another point I would like to say that kind of goes along with that is, like I said at the beginning, the population is growing and the citizens are becoming more and more detached from rural areas. So we need to reach out to them and kind of give them more of a base understanding of what agriculture is, and kind of refresh their memories and help them get a more hands-on learning experience to kind of go with everything that they've kind of been detached from. That way they know how to come and take over as older generations are leaving. And so statistics from Iowa Ag Literacy Foundation website says that most people today are 3 to 4 generations removed from farms. So that's really shocking when you think about how many farms and ranchers are actually in America today. So, however, if we can get the younger adults and children to discover this practice early, then the world has a better chance of keeping the farms and ranchers thriving, which is really important. And one way we can do this is to help generations become knowledgeable, to establish more classes relating to agriculture. This way, students are able to develop hands-on learning experiences with agriculture early on, so they are better equipped to communicate and work within the agriculture industry. So this subject shouldn't just be for rural residents, but at least one of the required courses for all students as well, even the ones in urban areas. So like those bigger high schools and colleges that you might not think have agriculture classes just because they are in urban cities. When I was in high school, my favorite classes were my ag classes, and yes, I am an animal science major, but that's not the only reason why. All of my teachers were more well-rounded and more relaxed as a whole, and they really would help you with anything you needed, whether it was like related to their class or related to agriculture or not. So they're just all around great people, and they produce great people in return. In fact, I made most of my friends in agriculture classes from group work and just our involvement, because there are so many branches and ways to get involved in the agriculture industry, which is really cool, because those aren't just like available for adults or like older generations. Those are available to you while you're young. Why should you want to promote agriculture in schools? Well, there are many factors in our daily life that relate to agriculture. Young adults are looking for good income to be able to sustain themselves, but the jobs have been very overlooked in agriculture. In fact, Amanda Radkel wrote in Beef magazine that there are over 50,000 jobs available in the agriculture field per year, which is a huge number for students seeking out jobs, and not just students, but just older generations as well. We also eat multiple times a day, correct? Well, I agree with Amanda when she says that we do not want children to be confused or misguided on products they buy when they go to the grocery store, or feel guilty about buying like the wrong product. So keeping agriculture in schools is a really big thing, because those skills that you learn in agriculture classes are going to be able to go with you in your everyday life, like going to the grocery store. So that way you're not confused when you go down certain aisles or when you read certain labels. You'll really learn a lot about truth and labeling, which is important. So advocating for agriculture can help many people around the world, not just large operations, but local ones as well. Local producers are the ones who struggle the most, and this is usually the more cared for products. So Gary Stevenson wrote in an article that one successful approach to enhance small farming is to sell directly to local consumers. So next time you hear about a farmer's market in your nearby area, you should totally stop by and see what they have to offer, because helping your local community supports a lot more people than you think, because everything initially is going to go back to that farmer that sowed the seed and made the crop for you to eat. So furthermore, stated from a website published in the American Farm Bureau, the farmers and ranchers that feed the country only consist of 2% of the population, which is really small if you think about it. And these are all reasons why it is important to advocate, so that way more people can learn about this community. So do your research and make sure that you're stating all the correct information. Because we need to be knowledgeable as individuals, and we need to be willing to make a difference. Because it can make a difference in our lives as well. So I kind of want to talk a little bit about advocating for improvements in the agriculture industry. And so one of those things could be bigger advancements, such as like hydroponic farming or irrigation systems. As you can see on the screen around me, those are going to get a lot of our products kind of more modernized, which is really nice, just because as you know, we are becoming more developed and more advanced. Our farming is becoming more developed and advanced as well, which is really important just for the improvement of society as a whole. So it's good that agriculture is kind of keeping up with those societal standards of improving. So it's important to get educated on those as well. And you can learn all of this information in your agriculture classes, which is what I did while I was in high school and what I'm also learning right now in college. So just to kind of wrap things up, I just really want to let everyone know that you need to be well informed about agriculture, and we need to help educate others. And like I said throughout the presentation, some ways we can do this is introducing younger students and younger generations to agriculture, helping establish more agriculture courses, and advocate for improvement overall in technology and just agriculture advancements as a whole. And many people don't know that all the aspects that intertwine with agriculture are a big deal, and you can help spread the word to others and let agriculture be a part of the future just by slipping it in everyday conversations and just kind of pointing out little obvious things here and there, which is really going to make a big impact on those around you, whether you kind of see it or not. So that's kind of the conclusion of my speech. So thank you.